Racism. We hear about it every day. I mean, we talk about it, we learn about it, and we read about it. But do we even know what racism is? I mean, do we truly understand the full concept of racism?
Define racism. I think it's about being against another culture.
I guess it's when a group of people think they're more, I guess, powerful or whatever than the other group and oppress them.
Making fun of the religion, not being friends with them because of their religion. It's things that are a part of them that they can't change, and yeah.
It is when you treat someone differently in a negative manner, simply based on their race or a culture.
Preconceived thoughts or ideas of certain individuals.
A feeling that people get when they say like a certain demographic, and they feel like a negative way about that certain demographic.
Defining someone by their stereotypes or how, like, the way they look, and not treating them fairly.
The act of harming or hurting somebody's feelings based on prejudice, stereotypes, racial or ethnic slurs, actions, whatever it may be.
Racism is a problem.
Being prejudiced against someone based on their race.
Well, it's obviously hurtful. I think it's very hurtful. Yeah. And it's not fair.
Being prejudiced against like a specific ethnic group. It's kind of like, I'm going to use just like a general example, kind of like how if a white person would just like be prejudiced or stereotyped like everybody that's black around them.
Yeah.
Get it? Yeah, kind of like that.
So I'm going to play kind of devil's advocate over here.
Okay.
When you talk about prejudice and stereotypes, are those contributing factors to racism, or is that what racism is itself?
I think it would go along with racism. I guess it could be facts. It's contributing factor.
Yeah. I guess it's a contributing factor.
I think it's a factor of racism.
Ooh. I feel like I need time to process this question.
That's not what racism is.
So what is racism itself then?
Oh god.
That's a really interesting question. Oh my god.
Oh wow. You know, I don't know, man. That's
We should know about this.
I know, we should.
Like, we go to school for this.
Yeah, seriously.
All those things in one, I think.
I never actually, I always thought it was mainly stereotypes, to be honest.
Okay, and
It surprises me that I don't know this answer. But I do know it, I'm not, okay.
Now don't get me wrong here. This experiment wasn't put together to exploit people, or to shame them, but to show that we are preconditioned to use words that we do not even have full knowledge of yet. And even though all of these individuals had their own perception of racism, there was one question they all had the same answer for.
Does racism still exist today?
Of course. Yes, 100%.
Definitely. For sure. Racism does still exist.
Yes.
Duh.
Yes. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Yes.
Of course, 110%. I think in Canada, because we live in Canada and such a multicultural society, people think it doesn't really exist in Canada, but I think it's a little bit more hidden. So it definitely exists.
Racism, to me, is the act of emotionally, physically, and personally degrading another human being based on this made-up concept we call race. And by that I mean, imagine we lived in complete darkness. Imagine you are sitting there, not watching, but listening to this video. Listening to the sound of my voice. Well, think about it. What's going to separate us from one another now? Not our gender, not our religion, not our sexual orientation, not whether or not you're disabled or I'm disabled, and not the color of our skin. Because you see, our eyes deceive us sometimes. They fool us into believing that the way that we look, the color of our skin, truly defines who we are as human beings without getting to know the content of one another's character. But the thing is, in complete darkness, we are all the same. It is only our knowledge and wisdom that separates us. Don't let your eyes deceive you. So on March 21st, which is the international date to eliminate racism, help end this thing called racism. Using the hashtag MMM, through social media, upload videos of you singing, dancing, playing an instrument, reading poetry. Because through the power of music, we will end racism.